We're going to talk about what are called sets. And first of all, what is a set? A set is just a collection of numbers or names or information or data. For example, in the green I have some names of some NBA teams written down. We might represent this list of names in what we call a set. So we might call it set A, and we can call it any letter. It really doesn't matter. And set A might look like this, using a brace, which is in a parenthesis or a bracket, and then we just list the names of the NBA teams. So I could have Nets, I could have Celtics, and I could have the Sixers with a brace at the end. Now the order of the names doesn't make a difference, so I could have Celtics, Nets, and then Sixers. And something else to note is if I had the Nets listed twice, when I list the set, I would still list them just once. So I'd still list it as Nets, Celtics, and Sixers. So this is what we mean by a set, and all it is it's a collection of information. Below I have three numbers. Now maybe I'll call this set B. And unless directed otherwise, you can just name a set by any letter, and usually it's a capital letter. And then we'll write a brace, and then 0, -3, and 7. Now something else that you need to know is it doesn't make a difference the order. So it doesn't have to go from lowest number to highest number or vice versa. The order is unimportant with this. All right, let's take a look at example 1. Now in example 1 it says represent the following as being members of set K. Now here they tell us that they want these numbers to be in a set K. So what we'll do is we'll designate our set as set K equal, then I'll put a brace. Now when I list these numbers, again, the order doesn't make a difference. It doesn't have to be lowest to highest or highest to lowest. If the number appears more than once, just if the number appears more than once, so two times or more, just list it once though. So in set K, let's see, I've got a 0, I've got a 1, I have a 2, a 4, a 5, and a 7, and then end it off with a brace. Now here I did put the numbers in order, but I didn't have to. And again, with something I mentioned earlier, is even though the zeros, for example, or even though there's 2 zeros, I just list it once. And even though there's 2 ones, I just list 1 once. And that's what we call set K. So set K would contain these numbers. Now in example 2, it says represent the following numbers as being members of set L. So now we're going to label this as set L. So equal sign, brace, and in this example, let's see, I've got a 7, I have a 15, I have a 0, I have a 1, an 8, a -13, and finally a 42, and that's it. So notice here I didn't list them in any particular order. Really all I did is I started from the beginning and said, alright, there's a 7, there's a 15, there's a 0, there's a 1, and so on. And this would be set L containing the members of 7, 15, 0, 1, and so forth. Now something a little different, and to finish this topic, in example 3 we're given 3 sets. So one of the sets is A, which contains the members of 0, 1, 3, and 5. I have a set B containing the members of 0, 4, 6, 7, and I have a set C which contains the members of 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7. Now take a look at the 3 problems below. And in A it says, notice we've got a little different symbol there, and it's not really an E, which would look like this. It's written a little differently, and how I would read this is this symbol stands for element of. So in A, I would read this as 5 is an element. So 5 is an element of A. Now what in the world does element mean? Well, element simply means is a member of. So we're just going to answer these, and all we're going to be directed to do is answer these true or false. So in A here, so our first question, true or false, is 5 a member of A? And that's how I would read this. So let's go up to set A up here and ask ourselves, is 5 a member of that set? And we can clearly see that it is. So this is true. All right, let's go to part B. I would read this as 4 is a member of C. Now is 4 in set, and I'll mark this here, is 4 in set C? No, only 1, 2, 3, 5, and 7 are in set C, so that's false. Okay, now in part C, a little different symbol. Now I have that E with a slash through it. So the way I would read this is 5 is not, remember a slash means not, 5 is not a member of B. So let's look at set B here. Is 5 not a member of that? That's true, because it isn't a member of it. So you just got to kind of get used to how you read these and what they mean. Let's go through one more example. All right, now I have the set L containing 0, 1, 2, 3. I have the set M containing 5, 6, and 7. And I have the set N containing 0 and 1. All right, let's look at part A. Now part A, they're saying that 6 is a member of L. Is that true or false? Is 6 a member of L? And that it isn't, so it's false. In part B, they're saying that 0 is a member of N. Is 0 a member or part of N? The answer is true. Now just for the sake of example, I'm going to put part C here. And I'm going to say, let's see, 2 is not a member of M. So is that true or false? Is 2 not a member of M? That's right. That's true, because it's not a member of M. So what we've talked about here are sets and what we mean by a set. And all a set is it's a collection of numbers or names, information, or data.